Dr. Seuss Enterprise, the business that preserves and protects the author and illustrator's legacy of Dr. Seuss, announced on his birthday, Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021, that it would cease a publication of several children's titles, including And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street and If I Ran the Zoo, because it is insensitive and racist imagery. My name is Hakeem Brown, and you're going to talk about this today on Pop City Culture.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother. Welcome to the most listened to international podcast around the world. Hakeem and Reggie Brown are two young African-American boys speaking the truth. This is Pop City Culture.
What up, everybody? What's up, Hakeem? Man, that was a good opening. My name is Reggie Brown, and yeah, that's right. We're gonna be talking about, the band stuff that's going on in the world. But this is Dr. Seuss' book, so his book is, I'm gonna have to quote, not being published anymore. But anyways, yo, here it is. I'm gonna hand the baton over to my brother Hakeem, and he's gonna talk about what's going on. Take it away, my big brother Hakeem.
Thank you, and thank you. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss is from Springfield, Massachusetts, a longtime resident here. And, he's well-loved. In fact, I remember hearing stories about how they had a balloon parade for him long ago. I don't know if they still have that, though.
I don't know if they still got it either, but I remember hearing some stories about how they had it, and I remember seeing some on social media about it.
Yeah, in any case, they have a museum.
Museum is off the hook,
That's dedicated to him in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Gotta come check it out.
In a place called the Quadrangle. It used to be, it's like a church is there. There's a library and
cast iron gates, man, because it's the ghetto.
Like 3 museums, I think, and then a small house that has his collections of everything that he's done. Our parents took us there. Do you remember that, Reggie?
Man, of course I remember that, man. It wasn't that long ago, man. We went there on a weekend. Besides, we ain't got school, so heck, why not we go there,
So I remember my dad took us to Mulberry Street, where Dr. Seuss had a house.
Man, that was off the hook. We ran down the hill on our bicycles, and I almost got hit by a car.
Yeah, that house was torn down. I don't know why they tore that down.
Because they stupid, man. They ain't got no respect, man. What you think?
But, I'm going to have to say it was very hurtful to a lot of people in the city. It didn't make any sense, really.
Didn't make no sense.
So, today we're talking about 6 Dr. Seuss books that won't be published for racist imagery.
Yeah, that's what they're saying, so we don't get to it.
So tell me, Reggie, what do you think about that?
Man, I'm going to tell you. If it's legit racist imagery, then I'm all down for it. You know what I'm saying? But if it's just somebody just trying to start something, I ain't about that. So, since I ain't got the book, we can't see what we going to do,
Well, a lot of people grew up with these books, and they like the books.
Yeah, well, they might have liked the book, but did they ever question the pictures on the inside? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so we're going to be talking about this today.
Good, I hope so.
So, the 6 Dr. Seuss books include And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street and If I Ran the Zoo. Those will be stopped being published because of what they say racist and insensitive imagery. The business that preserves and protects the author's legacy, they have the right to do this. And they said that. They say that these books portray people in a way that are hurtful and wrong. Now, that was according to Dr. Seuss's Enterprise. That's what they told the Associated Press in a statement that coincided with the late author's illustrator's birthday. So ceasing sales of these books is only part of our commitment and our broader plan to ensure Dr. Seuss's Enterprise catalog represents and supports all communities and families, they said.
Man, I don't know. If they were really on right down with that, why didn't they do this stuff years and years ago? But like I'm saying, man, if it's offensive or hurtful, man, then they do need to put a stop to it.
Okay, so Reggie, there are other books that were affected too.
Say what? what? Say it ain't so.
McGilliot's Pool.
Never heard of it.
That was one of them. On Beyond Zebra.
Never heard of that one either.
Scrambled Eggs Super.
Never heard of it.
And The Cat Quizzer.
I never heard of that one either. You're saying books I ain't never heard of.
Well, you know, I'm sure a lot of other people did hear of them, so.
Well, good for them.
The decision to cease the publications and sales of the books were made last year after months of discussions. The company, which was founded by Dr. Seuss family, told the AP. Now, you know, Reggie, this is what I think. I think if they knew they were going to stop publishing these books, maybe they should have told the public ahead of time, because there are a lot of people who really love these books, and they probably would have bought them just so they could have them for a keepsake and just for a huge memory. What do you think?
Man, I ain't gonna argue with you there, man. That's just a dirty dog, man. They knew full well they were gonna get rid of it, and they don't even give people the opportunity to get a piece of their childhood and their history. Hey, I'm gonna have to say that's some dirty stuff. That's dirty people, man.
Okay, so we're gonna get into a lot of the stuff. So, you know, in the book, and I think that I saw it on Mulberry Street, it shows an Asian person portrayed wearing a conical hat, holding chopsticks, and eating from a bowl.
Man, you serious?
But you know...
What do I know? What you gonna say?
So what do you think about that?
Man, I'm gonna say if it's portrayed like that, then yeah, you know, depending on how he drew it and stuff, man, even still, that is a little bit crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Reggie, here's the thing. Do you think that Dr. Seuss was brave to try to put people of minorities and other cultures in his books in a time where you didn't really see a lot of minorities and other cultures in children's American books? I mean, I tried to look them up back then. I didn't see a whole lot. Did you see anything?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't see a whole lot of minorities portrayed in a lot
well,
of
to be
children's
honest,
books.
listen, I just thought maybe you might have seen something, and I thought maybe, you know, you were
Well, I'm going to have to
onto
reply,
that.
you might have been wrong.
But, you know, so let me see. There's another one here. If I ran the zoo, now that one includes a drawing of two barefooted African men
Oh, my God. Say it ain't so.
wearing what appears to be a grass skirt
Say what?
with their hair tied above their head. Now, Reggie, what do you think about that? Does that sound racist to you?
Yeah, man, obviously the way you read it. I mean, it ain't like, you know, you saying it has any kind of respect or something, man. You just sitting there just dogging the person, man. You don't make it sound like it's a little bit civilized. But I didn't see the book, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, now let me ask you this. Have you heard any Africans or black people of American descent complain about anything like this?
Man, what kind of stupid question is that? You know, I don't know anybody from Africa. I ain't heard anybody from Africa say nothing about
Okay,
that.
because you
man.
see, what I'm trying to get at is
What you getting at?
people are making these decisions, but is there an upcry, an uproar in the world or in the community? Because I don't think, you know, all right, so you're offended by it.
Yeah, of course I'm offended. What you think, man? I mean, come on, man. You know, the way you said it, like I said before, you look at pictures,
But were you
yeah.
offended by it before I told you this? Did you even read the book?
You know I ain't read the book, so why you keep saying that? You know, I ain't even seen the book. But, you know, if I read the book, that'd be a different story now,
So
wouldn't
you're
it
going
be?
by hearsay.
Of course I'm going by
Because
here.
you
Ain't that what you're
haven't
going by?
seen the book, so you
Now, why
don't
you
know
interrupting
how
me?
it was done.
No, I ain't seen
Do you
it.
know if these people were in blackface or if it was in color or what's going on?
Man, what exactly are you trying to do? You trying to put me on the spot? Because, man, it sounds like you just trying to put me on the spot and make me look stupid in front of everybody again. Man, I'm getting tired of you doing this stuff.
Okay, so,
Man,
all right. Anyways,
unbelievable.
you know, books by Dr. Seuss, you know, born, his real name was Theodore Seuss Geisel, you know, like I said, from Springfield, Massachusetts, on March 2nd, 1904. Now, these books have been translated into dozens and dozens of languages, as well as Braille, and are sold in more than 100 countries. He died, just in case people don't know, he died back in 1991.
Man, I'm glad you mentioned that because I didn't know that, you know?
He remains popular, and he earns his books, even though he's passed, earns an estimated $33 million before taxes in 2020, up to just $9.5 million 5 years ago. The company said. Now, Forbes listed him number 2 on its highest paid dead celebrities of 2020, behind only the late pop star Michael Jackson.
No shade, man, but Michael Jackson's still my man.
Now, within hours of Tuesday's announcement, Dr. Seuss Books filled more than half of the top 20 on Amazon.com's bestsellers list. Mulberry Street and If I Ran the Zoo were on the list, along with Oh, the Places You Will Go, Green Eggs and Ham, and others still being published. So, people really do want a piece of their childhood, and they want to capture some of these magical books that they believe should still be printed. A lot of people are saying that these books are banned.
Hey, man, that's how they feel.
And a lot of people are getting very upset when they use that term. They say you shouldn't say banned. That's a harsh word. They're not banned. They're not banned anywhere. So, we have heard how these people talk and how they talk to people.
I ain't gonna lie, sometimes they sickening to listen to.
And we've heard their opinion. So we have to stress the fact that, no, they're not banned, but they are not being published anymore. So I don't know what the difference is. The difference, either way, no one's going to be able to get them anymore. And it's really sad. So Random House Children's Books, Dr. Seuss Publishers, issued a brief statement Tuesday. And they said that we respect the decision of Dr. Seuss Enterprise and the work of the panel that reviewed this content last year and the recommendations. What say you, Reggie?
Man, well, what took them so long? I mean, if they were really that into people's feelings and they thought people were really offended, why didn't they do this long before? Why they gotta wait till now? It's almost like since the Black Lives Matter movement thing happened, and since the George Floyd thing, now everybody wants to get their hands up and get out in a uproar and be politically correct.
So, Dr. Seuss, whether you know it or not, Reggie, he's adored by millions around the world.
He's adored by millions here, too.
For the positive values of many of his works, including environmentalism and tolerance. But criticism has grown in recent years over the way blacks, Asians, and others are drawn in some of his most beloved children's books, as well as in his earlier advertising propaganda illustrations.
Oh, man, what they gonna start doing now? Bringing up the past? Man, this is getting ridiculous, man. I just can't believe this.
I think he was like a...
like a what now?
Like a graphics artist, and he was hired to do like propaganda posters. Now that was over the top, but do we say those were different times because we were at war?
Man, that's for another show.
And they were trying to...
You hear what I said, man? I think that's for another show,
make propaganda stuff, and they purposely did that. But I'm that's a whole nother show.
Seriously, man, that's what I said.
Because right now we're talking about whether or not his book should be banned. And so
yep.
The National Education Association, which founded Read Across America Day in 1998 and deliberately aligned it with Geisel's birthday, has for several years de-emphasized Seuss and encouraged a more diverse reading list for children. So school districts across the country have also moved away from Dr. Seuss prompting.
Ain't a drop of loyalty there, I'm going to say.
Loudoun County, Virginia, schools just outside Washington, D.C., to douse rumors last month that they were banning the books entirely. So
I'm gonna have to say that is a shame. That is a shame.
It's a mess. There are schools and there are libraries who are banning these books, and I mean ban it because these schools and libraries don't print them like the publishers, so they can do whatever they want with those books.
Yeah, I suppose they can. It's their books.
Researchers in recent years have revealed...
Man, I'm getting tired of you cutting me off all the time when I'm talking.
...strong racism undertones in many books written and illustrated by Dr. Seuss, the school district said in a statement. For the country's libraries, what to do with Dr. Seuss's books being withdrawn continues a long-standing conflict between the values of free expression and acknowledging that some content may be hurtful.
Man, we already established that some content could be hurtful. I don't know how you take it.
Libraries rarely pull a book, even when some find it racist or otherwise offensive, says Deborah Cadwell-Stone, who heads the American Library Association Office for Intellectual Freedom. They're more likely to place it in a less prominent location or otherwise choose not to promote it. So, a lot of this has to do with shelf space and all that stuff.
Why don't they just say what it really is? Putting it all in the back of the bus. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, now, Reggie, have you heard of The Cat in the Hat?
Of course I heard of The Cat in the Hat. Man, what are you, stupid or something?
So The Cat in the Hat, one of Dr. Seuss's most popular books, has received criticism too, but will continue to be published for now.
Better get your books now then and store it up.
Dr. Seuss Enterprise, however, said it is committed to listening and learning and will continue to review the entire portfolio. Now, what I don't understand is if they think there's a problem with it now, why don't they just get rid of it, or are they just keeping it out there to make money for now? Because these books do make money, but I mean, I'm not quite sure what's going on.
Man, you mean you don't know what's going on? Follow the money trail, man. Follow the money,
So
man.
the move to cease publication of the books drew immediate reaction on social media from those who call it another example of, what is it? Let's say it together.
Cancel culture, baby.
We've now got Foundation Books burnings, the authors to whom they are dedicated. Well done, everyone, conservative commentator and author Ben Shapiro tweeted. Others approve of the decisions. I mean, the books we share with our children matter. Books shape their world's view and tells them how to relate to people, places, and ideas around them. As grown-ups, we have to examine the worldview we are creating for our children, including carefully re-examining our favorites. Rebecca Fitzsimmons, an assistant teaching professor at Carnegie Mellon University, tweeted. So,
Never heard of her.
you know, there are people who feel these books are over the top. They don't like it, and they're very, very happy that the books are being banned because, but do you know about the President Barack Obama?
What do you mean? Do I know if he was a president? Is that what you're trying to say? Because I know he was a president.
Okay, so, and anyways, I'm just going to say that, when he was president, the world celebrated the 100th birthday of Dr. Seuss. The White House had released a video with President Barack Obama praising the acclaimed children's book creator.
Man, if he likes it, how can the book be bad?
Yeah, Obama feels that Dr. Seuss, at the time, this is what he said, Dr. Seuss imparts a great number of lessons in his work. In the video embedded that they made, he referenced the two beloved stories, The Sneetches and Horton Hatches the Egg.
Before my time, never heard of him.
I also think that First Lady Michelle Obama, she read Horton Hatches the Egg and Oh, the Things You Can Do That Are Good for You. She used to read those to kids. They were very into Dr. Seuss, and they liked what was going on.
Man, then I don't see what the problem is, man. If a black president and his astounding wife likes the book, and they're saying it's a good book, what's the problem, man?
So I'm going to tell you, Dr. Seuss has made an impact in the world. But the other thing is this, he has a stepdaughter, and the stepdaughter says, Dr. Seuss, my father didn't have a racist bone in his body. She was very, very, very upset.
Man, I would be upset too, man. When the world's calling your daddy racist, man, that's some cold stuff, man. No matter if you're black or white.
Here's the thing. I'm going to read this to you. One of Dr. Seuss's stepdaughters insisted to the Post on that Tuesday that the world-famous children's author was no racist, and that she hoped his 6 controversial kiddie books, yanked from publications, will be back. Would you like to see them back, Reggie?
Okay, listen now. If the book is racist, then I would probably have to say I might not want to see the book back because of all the hard
But Reggie,
feelings.
is it up to you to say what's racist? I mean,
It's up to the reader.
I don't know if they even talk to people of color or of different ethnic groups, if how offended they were or what's going on, because this is like the first I've ever heard of this. But then again, we are kids. We're not really out there. But I'd really like to know what exactly is going on. I mean, this is something. What do you think?
Man, it's definitely something. This is like some Aurelian stuff, I'm Ratchet, man.
Well, she also says there wasn't a racist bone in that man's body. He was so acutely aware of the world around him and cared so much. Lark Gray Diamond Cates said of her late, now embattled stepdad, whose real name was, as I told you, Theodore Geisel. Now, the company overseeing the legacy of Dr. Seuss books, Dr. Seuss Enterprise, announced, again, I'm going to tell you, they will stop selling the 6 of the titles because they portray people in a way that are hurtful and wrong. Diamond Cates said DSE, which works with publisher Penguin Random House, informed her Monday about the decision to not continue printing If I Ran a Zoo, and I Think That I Saw on Mulberry Street, McElligot's Pool,
Keep on going. I gotta hear this. Go on.
On Beyond Zebra, Scrambled Egg Super, and The Cat Quizzer. So I think in this day and age, it's a wise decision, she told the Post of the Move. But you know what? Everybody's going to have to figure out what they want to do. I mean, yes, the publisher does have the right to not publish the book anymore. But, what about the people? People who want the book, who feel the book is well-loved, who really wanted to share these stories with their kids. I mean, what exactly do they do? This is...
It's a shame. That's what it is. A crying shame.
This is something. So, you know what I'm going to say to everybody here? I think we know what time it is. What time is it, Reggie?
It is time for my big brother's words of wisdom. I know you're going to have something intelligent and awesome to say, so go ahead, take it away, my big brother, now.
Once there are book burnings. That was a time of sick oppression and genocide. This was something that shocked the world. Never again would we ever think that something like that could ever happen again. But in a big sense, it has. The artistic creativity, words, and pictures that once flowed on a parchment of children's books will now cease to exist. The world of Dr. Seuss has stopped printing many of his well-beloved books. Let me say this clear. The books were not banned, but will not be printed anymore in our lifetime ever as long as we exist. I don't know what the difference is, but a small, stupid technicality it seems. These books have inspired a nation, a people, and a world. These are treasures that many cannot believe they cannot live without. Many people really can't comprehend why all of a sudden this is happening. Is it hatred towards this man? Or is it something worse and nefarious? Is it political? Is it a big move to be politically correct? No one knows. But can somebody please help me understand something? You cannot buy a children's book to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street by our beloved Dr. Seuss. But you can buy a book by Adolf Hitler called Mein Kampf. Are you serious? Is this some kind of a sick joke? There's some sick, pathetic unbalance of common sense here. And this is coming from adults who we look up to. They are the publishers of the world. And again, these publishers refuse to print another of Dr. Seuss's books. But can you comprehend the fact that a music artist of a popular song can win the Song of the Year? And the song talks about women's anatomy and sex and receives high praise, but degrades all women? I mean, are we serious? I don't know what all of this is about, but I'm sad that there will be a part of my childhood and one day my children's childhood who will never experience the books that Dr. Seuss made. When will this end? All I can say is many people have said, what can they do? What can they possibly do? They feel helpless. Well, I say to you, you are not helpless. There is something you can do. Sure, the publishers do have the power not to publish Dr. Seuss's books. Of course, it's their right. But you have power too, people. You don't have to buy any of his books or his products. You can take a stand. You can protest. You can make it so they listen to you. And how do you do it? By not buying anything from them unless you get what you want. In any case, I fear that this is only the beginning of what is to come. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the cancel culture.
Oh, man, thank you, Hakeem. That was so good. I'm going to tell you, I never heard nothing like that before. And I'm telling you, I'm real glad that we did this episode. I'm giving a shout out to everybody out there. Thank you for joining us on Pop City Culture. We're going to see you next week. My brother's always got something to say. Go on.
That's right. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today here on Pop City Culture. And we are going to be here every week live. So
yeah,
we invite you to come back again and listen to what we have to say.
Man, come on back next week.
Until then, be kind and affectionate to one another. Remember whose you are. Peace.
banning books like Dr. Seuss, man. Somebody should be ashamed of themselves. I ain't even read half them books. I don't even know what I'm missing, but man, maybe I hope they bring them back. All right, bye everybody.